The reason for this meeting is to discuss kind of a subject that, basically I just make up the subject as we go. We have these every week, and I thought this one is something that should be also discussed. So in my kind of perception of bikers and riders, they're always been tough guys that kind of stood up for what they believe in. They train themselves, so they could fight good, shoot good, so forth and so on. That's my personal perception of a motorcycle rider. It could be manifested from Hollywood or whatnot, but that's just what it is. And I've been looking around on Facebook groups and stuff that I'm in with, speaking of bikers and stuff, and even little things like the fake profiles that add themselves to the groups, and they post a picture of a woman and saying, implying that that's them. It seems like all these old school bikers have no idea that could be not that woman. Like, they don't, because there's all these likes, all these comments, like, you're beautiful, let's go riding together. And I'm just thinking, I click on there, I look, you can tell that this profile was created recently, and who knows what they're doing after, they start talking. Who knows what happens once they start talking? Maybe that profile tries to get some kind of gifts or something. I don't know, they send money. But even little things like that, even little simple things like that, it seems like the biker motorcycle rider subculture, they're not really keeping up with the progress of all the cell phone technology, basically. Even let's see, even Ron, how you didn't even know that when somebody sends you a message on Facebook, if you're not friends, you don't see that message. Also,
Well, you can send it through instant messenger, right? I mean, you can send an IM if you got the person's information. You can send them an IM without being friends.
You can,
but if you're trying to send it through Facebook, that's different.
Well, yeah, well, Facebook Messenger, I'm saying. That's just how the Facebook Messenger system works. So they won't let you see the messages of a person that you're not friends with unless you go into a special folder and, it says message requests, I believe, and you got to click there. So even little simple things like this, when organizing these meetings, we face this all the time. And I'm wondering, do you guys see that as a somewhat of a problem, that we're not kind of keeping up with it? Because I myself, I always like to work with my hands more, build motorcycles, fix them and stuff. And I was never really tech savvy. And when it all started kind of piling up, and then even these Zoom things, somebody said there's this Zoom technology that you could have meetings like this. That's also very, very interesting and new to me that I'm learning about. What do you guys think about this problem? Like, is what I'm thinking, does that exist? Are people not kind of keeping up, or are they keeping up? If they are, who do you think, like, where do you get information to learn something like this, like about informational security? I would say, I would call it informational security.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in here straight away, guys, and introduce myself, and as well as Jamie here. We're new to this group, but we've been riding for many years. I do about 40,000 miles of motorcycling in particular a year, as well as Jamie. She rides and is also a great pillion. So I would say we have some stuff under our belt, but we don't know everything. This is again my first group, but we got bigger fish to fry as far as what we're worried about on what's going on. Let's be honest, on Facebook Messenger, we're riding our motorcycles. I'm not worried about some guy in Africa coming in and trying to infiltrate my Facebook Messenger. I've got 8 motorcycles. My biggest thing is trying to make sure all these things get ridden before the batteries go dead, or making sure each one's plugged into its trickle charger. I got bigger fish to fry than who's doing what on social media. So I'm coming to you guys to talk to you about motorcycle riding and what we can get the most out of our groups and out of every throttle turn and every spin of that wheel. And I'm not really worried about what some schmuck is as out there trying to infiltrate our group saying, you know, being a naysayer or saying that you guys aren't doing it right or they're trying to market to us. You know, screw those guys, right? There's a bigger picture. So I'm gonna lead with that and saying that it's not a problem so much so that we can talk about how we're going to be impactful in the 21st century and how we can be good riders and be good stewards of our passion and of our sport and of our lifestyle in the motorcycling community. But I'm not worried about those little minutia things.
Well, I gotta ask you something before you go. Are you gonna stick around, or are you gonna?
I'll be here for the next 45 minutes at least. I'll give you that.
Okay, so you said you're not worried, but I'm guessing nothing really major has ever happened because you're not worried about it.
That's correct.
And
Yeah.
see, the thing is usually that to me, that's when things can go sour, when a person doesn't, he thinks that he's safe from it all and nothing will happen to him, and he doesn't really have to look into how to use the technology and how to protect himself from it and stuff. But I can tell you from our experience, when I say our, I mean our club. We had 7 years of historical research that we've done the past 7 years, and it's a certain club. Our motorcycle club was born from the Expeditionary Corps, and from that, our organization was attacked on all fronts, like, because they didn't, certain people didn't like us digging into history because it got in the way of them making money in this point of time, because they use, anyway, it's a big old ordeal. We've touched on a lot of subjects, but we were attacked on all fronts from a huge number of mass medias writing about bad things about our organization, attacking us online, a bunch of fakes trying to deactivate our channels that we were presenting our information, our research to the people. And the thing is, we did all of this for free. Like, we don't do any commercials or on our pages or anything like that. So we just research. It's kind of like a hobby that turned into a thing. Research it. We show what we found. People don't like it. They try to take it down. And we personally, so we kind of faced it. We faced these really harsh attacks, and they weren't just little trolls here and there. It was on a government level.
Is this affecting your riding, or is this affecting how you feel about your group or your actual mileage? You know what I mean?
Well,
like, how is this affecting you as a motorcyclist?
As a motorcycle, well, that's the thing. So
is this a problem to worry about?
I always, like I said, I always worked on motorcycles and I was always good with my hands. So I never really thought that I would need to learn about technology too much until that attack happened. And I wish I was more prepared so we could, I mean, I have partners who were much more prepared, so we were able to be okay. I kind of helped them out with what I could, but I wish I personally was more prepared, because at that time they started teaching me what needs to get done, what I need to know, to help. But
do what though? To do what? To prepare for what? To do what?
Well, counter those attacks. So somebody makes a whole movie about our organization of the Expeditionary Corps. What are we going to do? And that movie got 1 million views. What do we do?
I guess I'm I'm really confused, because if you're talking about history, motorcycle riding, history of motorcycle mechanics, history of the sport, I mean, what could somebody be upset about when you're talking about motorcycles is what I guess I'm confused.
Right, Ron, that's what I'm talking about. Exactly.
It wasn't necessarily about motorcycles, but what I'm saying is motorcycle riders, from what I see, and bikers are just like me, because I was one of them, and I didn't want to learn about I didn't want anything to do with informational technologies or anything like that. because I like to work with my hands. And most motorcycle riders and bikers are kind of like that too. You know what I mean? And that's why I decided to talk about this, because these Zoom meetings are for bikers to speak about this type of stuff. And that's what my question is: are other bikers even thinking about it? And it seems like nobody is, just like I was. And you know, it's
I just like riding. I like riding my bikes, and I don't worry about anything like that because I don't spend a lot of time on the computer. I'm a member of camping, and I like to see people's bikes and what they do when they're riding and stuff like that. I don't worry about that kind of stuff. I just like riding. I've been riding for 46 years,
mhm.
winter and summer in Canada, which isn't always easy. And I've even with 3 kids, I never stopped riding. So I just like riding, and I like talking about riding, where you rode and stuff like that, what kind of bike you have. That's what I like to
And
talk about in the
we
groups.
can definitely do that. And we've always done that on these Zoom meetings.
Yeah.
But
But
you got to change it up a little
I'm
bit.
jealous.
You got to change it up.
Chris has got more bikes than I do, and I don't like that. I got a problem. See,
They're all old.
I like old. I'm old.
driver, but I've got a bunch of old cheap bikes.
I like old cheap bikes.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I work
grew
on it myself. It makes it feasible.
Hey,
Yeah.
I grew up with points, man.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah, awesome.
I like
Right.
points.
Yeah, me too.
So
None of my bikes got
I
points
think
now.
just to summarize it, from what I understood, is you guys are not really worried about it. That's basically not at all. Okay.
When we talked about when I thought about, I mean, again, guys, I'm just some Joe Schmo, right? I'm down here I live in California. I'm on here the West Coast. I live in SoCal. I've got a home in NorCal. I do about 40,000 miles a year of motorcycling, mostly on BMWs. We do ADV. I don't know nothing, right? I'm just some dude. But when we talked about,
let me ask you: are you a business owner, or do you work for somebody, or
I work in the construction industry.
okay? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unfortunately I don't own my business yet. We're working towards that. But I work in the construction and building field, and we do mostly commercial properties. So that's what we do. Motorcycling is not only a way for me to meet new folks like y'all, and get a lot of stress out, but it's also a way that I travel and I commute to work. So when I'm going to a job site,
Yeah.
I'm going to ride my motor. I'm not going to drive my company car. I'm going to drive my motorcycle.
Right.
So in California, the traffic here sucks.
Yeah.
And we can split lanes here. Thank God that we can split lanes in California. We've been given that blessing, and I take advantage of it. I have an RTP. I have an old decommissioned police bike that I ride a lot, and I'm putting the mileage in. And I wanted to come here and talk about the influence that we can have not only on other motorists that are not motorcyclists, and those that are motorcyclists, on how to be good stewards of our passion and our sport, whether it be digitally in this day and age or in real life, that we've come to know it. Right.
Okay.
But I'm not worried about some Joe Schmo out of Africa, Somalia, saying, "Hey, I'm going to try to infiltrate your."
That's like 1% of the whole thing, though.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you're
I just want to
working.
make sure you don't get off in that tangent of the 1%. I'm looking at the 99%.
You're working for a company, right? That company has some kind of a presence, and a lot of bikers, motorcycle riders are business owners. And right now, whether we like it or not, our life kind of split into 50-50. We're 50% physically, physical, and 50% on the internet. Usually,
Right.
it has split whether we like it or not. And say your company, even if you don't own your company, you don't do your own marketing, but say somebody decides to attack the company that you work for, say their opponent, or another construction company that kind of wants a part of the pie.
Okay.
They hire, there's these bot farms, where they can, I don't know how your company does marketing, but usually what you have Facebook, Google, all those things, YouTube.
The usual
Yeah.
suspects.
Usual stuff like that. So now you have these 1,000 profiles or 3,000 profiles that write bad reviews on that company, that on Yelp, or they start making videos crying, saying that the boss of that company raped them or something, you know, just crazy stuff like that. And it seems like impossible that that would happen to a company, but our club went through it, and we started actually helping companies in Europe, because it's happening in Europe a lot more than it is in America at the moment, is what I'm getting, because it doesn't seem like a lot of people are worried about it. And that scares me, because nobody's worried about it.
Well, let's see. So I'm sorry, but okay, I'm also a member of the GWRRA, right?
Mhm.
And ROK, you know, Riders of Kawasaki. So what I'm trying to understand is, we talk bikes, we talk events, we talk maintenance, we talk DIY projects.
Mhm.
It sounds to me, I could be wrong, but you're talking political. If that's the case, I'm out.
That's another realm. I'm with you, Ron. I'm with you,
I mean,
Ron.
I'm riding.
No, it's
I don't
not an
have.
issue.
How is it political, what I'm saying? What exactly
Well, I
is?
say it sounds political because if you're having conversations and somebody's attacking you, are they attacking you because you gave advice on modifications on your bike, how to add LEDs? You know, whether
Well,
you go
no,
dark
no.
side, you know, you're using car tires on a motorcycle. But you
Okay,
know what I'm saying?
let me bring an example. Okay, so
Okay.
you say you're a motorcycle shop,
Yeah,
and there's another motorcycle shop down the street.
right.
You have a presence online.
Yep.
You're talking. You know, you're doing all this stuff, and he decides to wipe you out online. You know, the other guy, the other motorcycle.
Give you a bad review.
Well, not only he can give you 3,000 bad reviews.
Well, I mean, okay, so there is a thing called in the States, it's called the Better Business Bureau, right?
Okay.
Where you can actually go after bad players, bad actors, right? The Better Business Bureau will rate you as a company based on your performance as a company. And those folks who, you know, just are arbitrarily out to destroy you as a business owner, they get, you know, you can take them to the your state board of
I understand what you're saying, Ron, but the
yeah.
thing is, in the internet, they're invisible. You never
No.
know that it's that guy
No.
down the street.
Not here, not in the US.
I don't think
Not
we're worried
invisible.
about that. When it comes to
Yeah.
motorcycling,
Yeah.
I mean,
We're not.
I'm not running a motorcycle club.
Exactly.
Maybe I'm not
Or a
experiencing
shop.
these things, but for me, riding a motorcycle, that's a non-issue.
That's,
Yeah.
you know,
John, what do you think, John?
Yeah, like if I had a motorcycle shop, yeah, I'd probably have some kind of a defense system for getting something like that. I would worry about it, but I don't have a motorcycle shop. I fix motorcycles in my garage, and
Mhm.
I don't have to worry about, I hardly do Facebook stuff really. I just get pissed off when I do too much Facebook anyway.
Right, 100%.
You know, I'm a tree hugger, right? And I just,
Yeah.
and we got a lot of old growth, and then they don't have to they cut down old growth, and then they ship it to Japan, and I get angry, right? And it doesn't do me any good. So I try not to, I just read happy stuff. I try to stay away from all the bad stuff. I like my motorcycles, you know, I don't have as many as you, so I got to buy some more now, you know, but
Yeah, that's why we ride. We ride to avoid these problems.
exactly.
Alex is talking about,
I don't want to.
You can avoid them while you're riding, but when you get off the
I gotta
bike,
avoid them every day.
every day, because I
Every day, man. This is not
I
an
don't
issue,
get involved
you know?
in it.
Yeah.
It's not an issue. I've been
Yeah,
riding
it's not an issue.
46. I got 1.2 million kilometers on my 29 motorcycles. I got 4
yeah.
now.
Yes.
And a lot of that was solo, all through the United States and Mexico.
Yes,
And
sir.
I've never had a problem. I've never had anything
Yeah.
stolen off my bike. Never, not one thing. And all those touring miles, Grand Canyon 3 times, all over the States, never had a problem, right? So,
Very
you know,
good.
I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just lucky, you know. I try to park the bike where I could see it a bit, but sometimes I can't. And I don't know. I've never had a problem. So, you know, and I'm
That
certainly
basically answers my questions. Yeah.
I'm not going to look for
Let's
problems on the
hear
internet.
Joe. Can you hear us?
I think you
I
can.
can finally.
Okay. Joe,
Yeah, I can hear you.
are you what page are you on here? Do you feel that we don't need to worry about that? We don't need to worry about the kind of fast growing informational security problem, or we just keep writing?
Well, I try to give a little bit of thought to that, and it just depends, really. What are our options? Is the communication and technology getting ahead of us as a people, or as a lifestyle people that are always on the road? That's what they live and die for motorcycling, or just people in general.
Well, I
If
think
it's
that
Harley Davidson, they're gonna have to get up something else and start reaching out somehow to these new kinds of bikers that are out there, the millennials. I don't know how they're gonna
We
get
got to
them
look
to
at
get
what
on
our
a
goals are
motorcycle.
too, right, Joe? She talked about
Yeah, what are our goals?
what are the goals, right? And I'm going to ask you that is what are the goals of the motorcyclists in this day and age?
Well, I think that we need
that's
to
a
be
good
more
question.
involved
I'm
in
pretty
the,
sure the goals is different for everybody, but that's a good
Sure.
question. Yeah.
but the legal things that are going on in Washington as far as biker profiling. I know there's a lot of groups that have already made a dent in the legislation that is going on that's going to make it illegal for the police to do that. I don't know if anybody's ever had any problems, but I haven't. And I ride a three-piece patch, but I'm independent. I'm not part of an MC.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never had a problem. I've been around MCs.
I don't feel I'm under
They
attack
don't give me any
by
problems.
any means.
Right. So I don't see any problems.
I think we just need to foster an aura of acceptance and fortitude for y'all. I mean, I'm probably the youngest one here of the group. It looks like. Honestly, I'm bald as can be, right? I'm 33 years old. I think we can foster a relationship with our riders, young and old, on what we're doing, right? And what we
Right.
care about and where we want to go as a motorcycling community. And I'm not worried too much about what Facebook has to say about that. You know, most of my miles are spent on the road with face-to-face contact, you know, right here, you and me, you know, and I'm not worried about trying to hack something or telling me otherwise I can't ride my motorcycle, you know?
Well, they
Right.
can never do that. No.
I think some of the technology that can help is basically what we're doing right here is, have more of these forums.
Yeah.
And invite those other kind of riders that we normally don't ride with to foster that community.
Right. 100%.
And maybe even reach out to more, they already have the Biker Awareness Month.
Yeah, the map rides are for that too. Yeah, map rides are for that.
Yes, sir, Ron. 100%, absolutely, Ron.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you foster communication between twin cities, right? Like a Bloomington, Indiana, and a Bloomington, Illinois. You ride over there, and you kind of get to know people in that state, and then you ride back, and that sort of thing. So,
yes, yes,
those work.
Yes.
And I think that reaching out, I mean, there's groups that will not talk to the police. I think we should talk to the police a lot.
Most motorcyclists I know are civil servants.
Yeah.
Have that background.
So,
well, talk to the police for what reason?
Just to talk to them, communicate with them, see how, communicate, whatever. Don't avoid
so Alex,
them.
what are you experiencing in particular that brought up this topic? I guess I want to feel your pain because I'm not seeing it. I don't think Ron, I don't think Joe, I don't think John are. Well, I don't think we're running into the same kind of.
There's not really a pain. It's just a kind of a worrisome feeling that, and it's kind of in this Zoom. It's you guys are saying that it's true that you guys don't want anything to do with it, and that's what my thought was. That bikers, motorcycle riders, they just want to ride. They don't want anything to do with the expanding technologies and internet basically.
I love technologies and internet. I just I don't think it's a political issue yet. And I don't think I'm being stifled upon. Right now, guns, we want to talk guns and the Second Amendment. That's a whole other thing. And we're not going to get into that.
But see,
right?
that's
And I feel that every day.
Don't you
That-
carry
that-
a gun with you?
But as motorcyclists in California, I can split lanes. I can ride my motorcycle 365 days a year. Now I pay out the ass for registrations. I have 8 motorcycles I'm paying registrations for in California. It costs me a couple $1,000 a year to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
That sucks. But I don't feel stifled
Wow.
upon to ride my motorcycle in the United States of America right now, or in Mexico, or in Canada. I'm good to go.
You mentioned guns. Okay, so they're doing some things here. People shoot somebody, they say we got to take the guns away, and they do that through media. So
Yeah.
what if a biker crashes a motorcycle, kills somebody, they start.
Yeah, whatever, man. What if? I don't feel that in the motorcycle realm.
Yeah, I don't see that in the
Usually
motorcycle
we're the
realm
ones
either.
dying. We're not the threat.
For the most part,
motorcycles are
yeah.
the ones
We're
dying
the
when something goes wrong. I don't care if it's the motorcyclist's fault, which usually it's the motorcyclist's fault.
What I'm saying is, if
not-
they're
it's not an
able
issue.
if they're able to say that if somebody shoots somebody, it's the gun's fault, and everybody believe it, then why do you think they wouldn't be able to make people believe that motorcycles are dangerous?
I'm not going to what if that, because it's not an issue.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
They
The
did lose
statistics show
but they
that-
did lose the helmet. I rode through California years ago, no helmet, and no helmet in many states, Washington. So they did lose some freedom. There is an
Yeah,
opportunity to
true.
lose some freedom.
True.
I mean, if things go haywire, right? They're talking airbags on bikes and stuff like that. And that's not something I'm big on. I don't even like wearing a full face helmet, right? I don't.
And see,
unless
if
it's
we
really
spoke
cold,
about the
then
helmet thing 20 years
I-
ago, and I was saying, what if, you would have said, it's not a thing, but
I understand.
they're making us wear
But-
helmets.
But we got to be a little bit careful, but I don't think we're at a stage now that we have to worry that they're going to outlaw motorcycles or anything like this.
Right.
And we're a long way from having to have
just an
airbags.
example.
Yeah, but I don't think the helmet thing was coming. I could see that coming, right? I mean, I have a little history, just as a side note. You know how motorcycle gangs or groups started? You know why they started? It wasn't to
We
sell
don't.
drugs.
Tell
Okay,
us, John.
I'll tell you, because I'm old and I get history. But it started with the vets from World War II.
Yep.
The vets came home, and they were all amped up, right? They just finished, in a war with their buddies, right? With
They had a bunch of Harleys.
No, well, they didn't at that time, but they got into the camaraderie of that fellowship when you have somebody beside you that has your back, right?
Yep.
And that's the whole thing. That's how they started. They didn't start by selling. It was good old fun fist fighting. They liked fighting and stuff and rumbling, but they didn't use pistols and stuff like that. Most of it was just clean fun, a good fight,
Yep.
And that's how the Hells Angels actually started. In about 46, they started,
Yep.
and then they slowly morphed into more of a criminal organization, right? But anyway, I just thought I'd mention that.
Well, I may sound like a fuddy duddy, but I've dropped just about every bike I've ever owned.
yeah.
Hey,
And,
you and me both, Ron. I've dropped
yeah,
every
and
one I've owned.
I've ridden into a ravine. I've had to kick car doors on the highway. I've run over wild animals. So for me now, getting that in my younger age, I'll put a helmet on.
Yeah.
Well,
No problem.
I don't like
wear
bugs in my
helmet.
eyes.
I wear glasses, number one, and I do wear a helmet. Even in Mexico here, I wear my helmet, and it's not, I just wear a half helmet or, open face for sure, but sometimes just a half helmet. I've had 28 motorcycle accidents. I used to race and crash, and when I raced, and I've never hit my head really hard. A lot of them I just walked away from, the bikes totaled, but I took judo for like 4 years when I was a kid, and I think it really helped me learn how to fall.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like judo, it does. I thought,
It does,
because
yeah.
most of the time I walk away,
Yeah.
and I hit a car. None of the car fault were my fault, but a lot of the other ones were speed related, right?
Yeah.
Of course,
You know.
of course.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And
We've
you
all
know,
been there. You know what I mean?
hey, I've never had a motorcycle with a windshield in my whole life, not
Okay.
one. And I grew up on sport bikes. I have a Ducati GT 1000, no windshield. I just like the plain Jane bikes, right? And I got a Moto Guzzi Sport 1100. And then the
Yeah.
the
Beautiful.
bars are below the triple tree, the top triple tree. The clip-ons are below that. You're talking
You're
about
More of a man than
brutal.
I am, John.
Yeah, but I did put Healy bars. I brought it back and 1 inch up. So
All
I'm
right.
getting old, right? I'm gonna be 70.
Don't tell the
soon.
ladies that.
No, no. I just like riding. I'm here in Mexico City, and I ride and you talk about having to deal with traffic. Can you imagine riding in Mexico City every day? I mean,
You know, I go to Baja quite a bit.
it's a zoo.
There's no traffic in Baja. It's the
No.
it's the boondocks.
I
It's the
rode down to
boonies.
Baja. I rode
Yeah.
down there 3 times on my bike, all the
Yeah.
way. I used to live in La Paz.
You know, I don't feel like I'm being under attack by any social media pundit or Mark Zuckerberg, any of that. You know, the
No.
bigger thing is how we act as motorcyclists and as men and women and stewards of the passion and the sport of the sport that we're in. I think we can do bigger things and worry about some BS, you know, digital issue. What could we do to make sure
Grande.
that our sport is solidified in history as
Maribel.
men?
Which sport? You mean like racing or?
No, motorcycling as a sport and as a lifestyle.
What could you do? Also,
No, I'm saying I think that's the bigger question. More so than is there a digital or political issue of motorcycling? I think it's us.
I think we could pick up that subject on a next Zoom meeting. I mean, like I said, I have these every Sunday, so and everyone's welcome to join.
And I'll try to be there next Sunday. And thank you guys for having me this time.
Yeah,
I know.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Anyone is welcome to suggest the you know what we talk about. So
appreciate it.
Yeah, Ozzy.
It was good to hear perspectives. You know, pretty much the same ones I hear in the folks I ride with. I mean, the little different things, but like you talk about technology. You know, whether they have a Cardo or Cena or just rely on your CB. You know, those are quite common questions we always have about technology.
Mm-hmm. Well, so let me try to make another kind of share a thought that I'm having when you mentioned the gun, right? So why do people have guns? To protect their body, you know, from other people who might have a gun. That's kind of America was always.
That's not why I have a gun.
Or they're your house, or what do you?
I shoot competition. I like shooting competition with my pistol. That's how I shoot the competition shooting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you train shooting just to do it.
I like the accuracy of it. I really enjoy shooting. I just enjoy it.
It's very fulfilling.
Yeah, I really like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I got Jamie here with us. Jamie is a female motorcyclist, which is rare in our field. She rides about 10,000 miles a year. She's got a BMW GS 700. This lady speaks from experience and has a lot of knowledge. She's 29 years old, and she's going to bring a lot to the table as well in our conversation, gentlemen.
That's great.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, like John said, we're talking guns. It's a right for us as a Second Amendment. For me as a U.S. citizen and American, and we hold that near and dear. For John, he's down in Mexico. He does it for the precision and for, I'm sure, the camaraderie that comes with that precision and the satisfaction. Because I ride my motor. I have a Ducati S4 RS. I ride that Ducati as a matter of precision and a matter of satisfaction for myself.
Well,
just like if I'm shooting a SIG,
why I have guns in my house is to protect my house.
I'm not shooting to kill people. I could blow your brains out. I'm shooting for precision and for a fulfillment that I get. I'm sure John could kill every one of us right now, but he's doing it for other reasons, and that's why we're in this. That's why we're in it, right?
My pistols are in Canada, and I had to go through a screening process to get them. They're a little tighter there than the
Yeah.
US. So, but they have a great club, and you know, and I can go to any range. I can take the gun with me. I used to take it in grocery stores, but just
Amen. Amen.
I put it in my bag, right? Because I didn't want to leave it on my bike. My bike wasn't locked up. And
Right.
if somebody stole it, so I mean, it's not like I'm waving it around. You got to be
It's burdensome to some extent. It's a burden.
So
you're
we can kind of,
responsible, right?
we can say that a gun is so far we've found that we can use it for sport to get good at shooting, you know, to be just as a
Fun.
sport, basically. We can use
Fun.
it as self-defense.
It's multifaceted.
And some people like to use it to attack or rob people. So 3 ways of using the gun, basically, is well what we understand here now.
I
And
don't think any of us are in that field.
well, I hope
We're
not.
not. We're not. No.
We'll take 2 of the 3.
I hope not.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
there's always those who use it in the 3rd way, and that's why, you know, it's good for us to be able to defend from them. If, you know, say if I don't have a gun in my house, somebody comes in with guns and kills everybody. If I do have a gun, at least I have a chance. But
Sure.
that's
I'm talking motorcycling though right now. I'm not worried about somebody running into me with their motorcycle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's yeah.
So what
Why
can
would
we
you
do then? Again, back on topic. Let's talk topic. We're talking about motorcycling in the 21st century and the digital age that comes with that. What can we do as stewards of the passion and of the commodity?
Well, that's like I said. So that's going to be we can do that in the next Zoom meeting. So
Okay.
that's, you know, what you keep bringing up this topic, but let's stay on this topic.
So what is the topic? I'm sorry if I'm losing it. What is the
Well,
question?
you keep bringing
or
up the topic that you want to bring up, but we're speaking about this topic,
which is,
I understand that nobody wants to speak about this topic, and I already understood that. And
what is it?
That answered my question, that nobody wants to do anything about, you know, like they don't. Okay, so this is what it is. People don't want to feel like they'll ever be attacked in any way, physical or on the internet. So they just want to like kind of say, I'm okay, I'll be okay. And that's fine. Like in John's case, he's been lucky, and that's great.
Are you talking about bullying?
What's the question at hand that we're discussing tonight, I guess is what I'm asking.
Well, I presented the topic and
say it again.
About going after a
I'm off
business.
base then. What was it?
Okay.
About going after a business is what I heard, right? Somebody
No, well, I
making
want to
bad comments
just
about
say
your
something
business.
for here. I seen, you know, some people get up really excited if somebody does something on the road, and I think we've all seen this, right? And I stay pretty calm. I rarely get upset at other drivers, very rarely, because I already know what they're going to do before they even do it, right? Number one. But
Right.
I'll use one example here. And this guy was on a Harley, and Harley guys can be bad because they got this image.
true.
No, they do. So a lot of them do. Not all, I'm not saying all of them, but some of them have this image, and ego is no suum ego. Your ego is not your friend when it comes to this shit. Believe me.
No, it's not. Yeah.
And you know, and the guy got all excited, and the guy, he wasn't even really cut off, but the guy changed lanes, and the guy took it that he was cut off, even though he really wasn't, got all excited, turned around, started yelling at him, and drove off the road and killed himself and his wife, right? Like, that's something that you know, there's no reason to get all excited on the road on your bike, right?
No.
I mean, most of the time it's because you didn't see
Hey,
it.
we'll lose every time. It's us
Yeah.
versus a car or something, or a truck. You know, there's no
Well,
context.
I had a guy turn
It's
left
better
in
to
front
just
of
slow
me.
down. I usually just slow down.
Well, it helps
let off,
to do
yeah.
this. I had a guy turn left in front of me in 2013, and I was on my DR 650 Suzuki, and there was a bunch of traffic in the lane beside me on the left lane. It's a 2-lane, you know, 4-lane road. So 2 lanes going one way, 2 lanes going the other in town. So I'm doing about 60 kilometers. What I don't drive faster. That's about 33 miles an hour, 32, 35, somewhere in there. So there's 3 cars stopped because the head guy, he's turning left, right? And there's traffic coming, and I'm coming along in the other lane. I just finished working on my boat. You know, I'm coming along Sunday, December the 28th. You know, it's dark, and the guy didn't see me, right? He just didn't see me, and he turned left, and I had like 10 feet. I had 10 feet, so I didn't even hit the brakes. I basically just hit him, right? Center punched his van, and you know. But 4 hours later, I was out of the hospital.
It's a bad day.
You know,
It's a bad
30
day.
stitches, but not bad. 30
Yeah.
stitches, don't walk away, man, that's not
You're an
bad.
animal.
Yeah, it was good, you know,
Yeah.
but the thing is that sometimes it happens, right? You know,
Right.
I mean, but, you know, it just happens, but I mean, it pays just to drive the speed limit in town. You know, my second wife was from Southern California, so I spent a long time splitting lanes down there. And,
God bless you, John. God bless you, sir.
my third wife is better. So far, so good.
Hopefully she's not from Southern California.
No, the first one was Canadian. The second one was from Southern California, and the third one's from Mexico. So
Okay.
I'm working
I
down
think
south.
the Mexican's going to be the best.
I think
I'm honest.
I'm hoping. He even likes riding on my little bike. I bought a little
So John,
Spitfire 200.
John
and,
started
she even
speaking about
enjoys riding on
motorcycle
it.
safety here. John, you started talking about motorcycle safety, and so I'm going to try to explain to Chris the idea of this meeting, because it seems like maybe Chris and some other people are still not
I think
understanding
I'm lost on it. Thank you, sir.
the idea of this one.
Yes.
So you see how John picked up the motorcycle safety, right? So there's ways
Right.
to be safe riding a motorcycle. And the reason for this thing, okay, this is how I try to word it. So motorcycle riders, bikers were always good at protecting themselves physically. And riding a motorcycle, that's also like you're physically know what to do. You need to slow down and whatnot. So
And mentally.
and mentally, okay. So 100% back in the day, there was no internet, nothing like that. There was you were a good fighter, a good shooter. You were a good fighter and a good shooter, and nobody would mess with you. You were a biker. Now there's 50% internet. And like I said, bikers, riders, if you're not an employee, most or a lot of bikers have their own businesses. And my question is, in this day and age, are they still the tough guys? Or do they
Non-issue.
or
Non-issue.
Huh?
Non-issue.
Non-issue.
non-issue?
Non-issue.
Non-issue, man.
No.
But you guys can discuss.
I'm not
Ron, what's your
sure.
take? John, Joe?
No,
Okay,
I
my-
grew up on
my
the internet, and there was never any. I didn't have to be tough or shoot anybody. You know, just ride the bike. That's it.
Okay,
Go ahead. Sorry.
the question that you posed was, are bikers and riders keeping up with 21st century technology? Is technology moving too fast? Are we keeping up with it?
Mhm.
Technology. So what were you trying to get to with that? Were you talking about, are we keeping up with it as far as we no longer have to use a map skill? Now we get to
No,
use
as far as being able
GPS,
to protect ourselves, because there's people that-
technology wise?
Exactly. There's people who use the internet in a good way, like we are right now. There's people who use the internet in the bad way. If you have a business, it could be wiped out. Like back then, they would burn your building down. Right now, they wipe it out on the internet. And
Okay,
mhm.
Nobody
So
has a
if
business
you
here.
get, so the simple answer to that is, if somebody libels you, you sue them.
But on the
Sure.
internet, there's fakes. I mean, you don't know who's attacking really.
Well, again, there's a security firm, right? That you can employ, your lawyer you can employ. You can find out who it is. It's going to cost you some money, but you can find out who it is, and you can stop it.
And this is
Once they get sued, it's amazing how when you.
We're finally
ahead.
getting to where I wanted to get.
Okay.
To understand that any kind of tools, if there's any kind of tools out there to protect ourselves from those type of attacks, not the physical attacks anymore, because nobody
Your question
burns
is not specific. If people are coming after your business, you can go to the Better Business Bureau, right, and file a complaint. If people are trying to do this in an anonymous kind of way, you have to have an attorney that can hire a cyber guy that can track down who this is. You sue them for libel, you win, they go out of business. Simple.
Joe, what's your take? Joe.
That's good.
I'm still not getting how this is technology, and as bikers and riders, technology, not businesses, as bikers and riders is a question. What's the technology we're supposed to be keeping up with?
I'm asking
safety of a motorcycle. You can wear the same thing that the guys wear that do motocross. across.
No, not
That
that
can
type of
protect you.
technology. Basically, informational warfare is what I'm talking about. Like
It's
technology.
a
as far as
non-issue for
computers.
us.
But-
I think for all of us,
But
it's a
what-
non-issue as
Yeah,
motorcyclists.
the topic of the day is how do you keep yourself safe in the cyber world, period. Nothing to do with motorcycles.
Which we're not dealing with. That's
It's
why I
basically-
ride motorcycles, is to deal with the non-cyber world. I'm not on Facebook or Instagram riding my motorcycle.
Or a business.
But when
or
you
anything.
start your own business, you have to be basically these
We're
days.
but we're not
I'm-
starting a business.
I'm not starting, this is not a Better Bureau business discussion. I'm talking about motorcycles and riding my motorcycle.
My mistake. I thought this was about a biker rider issue.
Right.
It's not.
And it is.
It's not.
You're
It
just-
is. I'll explain to you why, because the reason that you guys are having this reaction is I knew that this would be the reaction because bikers and riders.
So
Don't-
bring it home to us then, as motorcyclists that ride motorcycles,
Yeah.
how this is an issue.
He's saying that
Because
motorcycle riders.
whether we
have to
want
be-
it or not, the internet infiltrated all of our lives.
I don't
Whether
feel
we
under
want it or
attack.
not.
If I was a conservative white guy, maybe I'd feel under attack in the modern day Biden administration era. Or if I'm a Second Amendment gun holder, we could have this conversation. But as a motorcyclist, I don't feel, even in California,
Well, I understand what you're
I'm
saying,
not
like
under
when you're
attack
riding
by
your
any type
motorcycle.
of digital media.
But a motorcyclist doesn't stop being a motorcyclist when he gets off the bike. You know, he has
People love me as a motorcyclist. I go to a
Great.
gas station, everybody comes up to me, talks to me, wants to know who I am, what I'm doing, what my motorcycle
just like
is
your bike.
about.
They
Like
do.
your
It's
bike.
true. I love this guy. I don't not even met him.
Yeah, man, everybody
Love
loves
you, man.
it. 100%. It's a non-issue.
We're good.
that answers my question. That was yeah. Then it kind of
I want to ride with all you guys. We'll have a great time.
I'm in LA, so we'll ride one day when somewhere.
There you go.
So
Oh,
I think I'm gonna leave tonight. I'm here having dinner with my girlfriend and her family. I'm gonna leave tonight saying, for me, this topic, I appreciate you guys. I'm glad to meet you all. It's a non-issue for me. And I leave digital media in my life as a non-issue in general, because I hate that shit. I'm riding motorcycles, guys. And right now, people love me for what I'm riding and what I do. And I'm out there riding. I'm turning the throttle every day. Let's have another discussion on what we're doing. I'm going to keep you guys, I'm going to be privy to what's going on. And I hope to catch you guys next Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, you guys go ahead.
Ron,
If you
John,
want to meet
Alex,
up again,
Joe,
recommend the next subject. We'll discuss
Yeah.
that.
thank you guys very much. All right. I'm out.
Later.
Great. Take care.
Later.
Guys. All right.
Chris.
Take care. Later.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey.
Oh, Ron's out too.
No, we can't.
All
Well,
right. That was interesting.
yeah, that answered that was my idea, is that was going to be the reaction, because it's bikers and motorcycle riders, they don't want anything to do with internet stuff usually. And but well, we're able to do these Zoom meetings, and that's good enough for me. And
Yeah.
I learned how to do Zoom, so
What do you think, John?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a subject. When I read that, I think it was, you posted it on Facebook, and I just thought, what are you talking about? And I thought, you got to learn how to fight and shoot to be a motorcyclist. That's not how I started riding when I was 20 years old. I was never a fighter, and I liked shooting my 22 at the Fish and Game Club at that time, but I wasn't a shooter. And we don't have much violence here. Well, here in Mexico is more, but when in Nanaimo and Vancouver Island is a small town, about 15,000 when I started riding. And so there wasn't, if we had a murder every 5 years, that was something, So I don't see the problem with this. I mean, I don't run a web page. I don't have a motorcycle webpage, and so I don't know a lot about it if there's hacked into. I know sometimes could be a problem with that. Even having a Zoom meeting, you can be bombarded. You can get people coming into your Zoom meeting and kind of disrupting it. But it's just an irritant, right? It's not like I can't sleep at night. you know, I mean, for me, it's just I like getting out on my bike and going for a ride. And I don't have a stereo on my bike. I've owned 29 bikes and not one of them has weighed more than 500 pounds.
Nice.
So, I mean, I'm a simple guy. I like simple stuff. I don't have a radio. I don't have comms. I don't have any of that stuff. I like just to listen I put earplugs in. I listen to my bike, the pipes, because if I don't wear earplugs, I go deaf because of the wind noise, right? And it's just too much wind noise. And so I like riding. It's just I don't want to hear music. I don't want to hear nothing. And everybody has their own, some people like to listen to music. That's okay. But for me, I just want to feel nature. I'm just running through nature. I want to smell the cows and smell the rain and smell the grass. And it's my higher power, so to speak, the bike and riding, so that's it for me. And I don't worry about this stuff.
You
like
reminded
the
me
other
when I was we weren't riding, but we were driving through Bavaria in Europe by Munich, and what you were just saying reminded me. I smell the cows. You're riding, and there's all green, and there's cows, and that's it.
Yeah,
If you've never been to Bavaria, in that part of Germany, it's freaking beautiful. It was like a fairy tale.
it's on my bucket list to drive through Europe on a motorcycle. So,
Mhm.
I really would like to do that.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you, Joe? What
I
are you
was
riding?
thinking,
Are you still riding?
me, I have a 2019 Ultra Limited.
Oh, nice. Beautiful.
But as far as, I'm going to go to your topic now because I got something that people should be aware of, but it really depends. And that is when you're on the computer. If you have a computer, you need to be aware of what you're posting, where you're going. As an individual, technology's out there and they can do a whole lot real quick and drain you from everything you got, take your ID. So just be careful with your mail. You don't throw things out that have any identification for you. Be careful with that. I mean, that and the internet, you got to be careful because they can get on your computer and do things that don't open up spam just to see what it is. Leave
Good
it
idea.
alone. You don't know. You don't know. Don't go.
I'll tell
That's
you
a good
something.
idea.
They can they can even send you a link, and if you click on that link, it could look like a YouTube link or something, but it can like
Right.
download a virus or something to your computer. There's all sorts of things that could happen.
Right.
And
But that's applicable, I think, to the question that you had, that we need to be, and the sad thing is, because as you said, a lot of motorcyclists or bikers will say are not tech savvy.
that's
They don't think
yeah.
about it. They just think that it's going to can't be penetrated. But the threat's not, and we have a threat of a car, and you may have a threat technology wise. And the technology threat is your information. Protect it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That's all.
At least see, at this point we kind of calmed down. This gentleman that joined, he he was riled up.
No.
I tell you. Well, that's definitely true, whatever what you said. And bikers, motorcycle riders are not tech savvy, and they don't want anything to do with it usually. And that's how I was until our organization was attacked, and I had to learn quick how to be tech savvy. And that's just something I wanted to talk about. Basically, kind of showing people that it could happen. It did happen to us, and it's better to prepare yourself beforehand be ready before something happens, have some kind of knowledge, just like you were saying, simple things, at least simple things, like not clicking on a some kind of a link, not putting your information out there too much. I mean, it goes really deep, this informational technology stuff, security,
Oh,
but
sure.
at least doing simple things and learning about them is a good idea, even if you as a biker motorcycle rider don't want to, because usually those things that you don't want to do, they come and bite you in the ass if you don't do them. And that's kind of
Yeah.
my point.
Yeah. Riding motorcycles is simple. Keeping from falling down is simple. You come to a stop, put your feet down before you stop.
Hmm.
You know, so the same rules apply with tech. You don't know, don't go.
Hmm.
Don't ask somebody before you do. Call somebody up. You know, hey, I got this. What should I do? Leave it alone. Um, you know, if somebody wants to be your friend on Facebook, take a look at their profile before you accept them as a friend. If they don't have any history, block it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Otherwise, they're little Klingons, and they can do some damage too.
And see, Joe,
They can ruin your marriage.
you understand those simple things, and there's a lot of people that don't. Like I said, I go to a group of old school bikers, and I see them, this woman post a photo, and everybody adds her, everybody's talking to her, and they don't even think about looking at the profile. Like, see that simple thing that you said, look at the profile, see how when it was created. They don't do that. A lot of people don't. They just think that if that Facebook is created, it has a picture of somebody, that's them. That's how they think. They're just straightforward like that, because that's how they are. They create their Facebook, they put their picture on there, and that's them. But it's getting kind of deep and crazy out there, and and there's really, there's all these motorcycle safety classes, but really there's not too much safety classes or somebody who can teach about this type of stuff. We had to learn on our own. There was
No.
nobody to teach us.
Question for you. Now, is this group of people that are in the Brotherhood of Bikers, the Biker Brotherhood?
Could be. There's a bunch of pages.
That you put it on?
No, I'm saying
Did you put it on a bunch of pages?
there's a bunch of biker pages that you go to, and there's a bunch of fake girls that when you go into their profile, it's a boy, or it's some, I don't know, some Indian boy or some Indian girl that's not the picture that is on the profile. And they don't even,
Yeah.
they have no idea to look past that first profile picture, basically. And that's just a simple little thing. I mean, like I said, uh, and not even having the skills to filter those simple things can be a little dangerous, I would say.
Well, that's my point was this Zoom group. Are you friends with all these people that are here on this?
No, those are just people. Well, I know John from a few of the past Zoom meetings. Some people just join. A few of them. This is our seventh one. We do them every week, and I'm planning to do them
Right.
for as long as I can, basically every week on
Well, I've
Sunday.
seen this on a page that group that I helped start.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
I'm a
we've done.
founder for the Brotherhood of Bikers, or Biker Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Can't remember what it is now.
We've done six of them. This is the seventh, and then after we do this, it gets uploaded, and people can watch it, and maybe make some kind of decisions for themselves if they want to teach themselves any type of skills aside from riding motorcycles, and aside from that, if they should or not. But it seems like not too many people are worried. But
It'll be harder. It'll be harder for you to get people from a bike page to be interested in things other than bike stuff.
well, I understand that, but the thing is, for me, I'm not interested in like quantity of people. It's like if I can help out a few people, that's I would feel like I did my job. If, if two people don't get hacked or don't get informationally attacked because they listened to what we spoke about and they made the decision to prepare themselves, and it could happen, they could, because if nobody talks about it, the idea doesn't even go into the person's head to somehow start teaching themselves about the internet and safety and all
I
this
think it's
stuff.
good that you care.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, that's why I do these, and I'm I'm a rider, I'm a biker, and I kind of experience kind of the same things. I would rather just be working on my bike right now or riding, but I feel like I need to give back somehow, so I do these. And you guys are, like I said, everybody's welcome to write to me the next theme, because I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, what should we talk about next week? I don't know. I mean, we could talk about
Well,
a lot of bike stuff, but I also want to talk about are things that we may not want to necessarily think about, but are uh, useful, I would say. I mean, that could be important.
well, you send me the link each week and I will try to be here.
I appreciate it, Joe. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I'm gonna go see
enjoy
my
it.
wife. But
I'm a member of a few bike camping group and long distance touring. I think 4 different groups on Facebook just for motorcycles. And I don't know. I like it. You read, maybe you looked at the story I wrote, um, that I put on the long distance motorcycle one. Um, it had something to do with 2 weeks ago when we talked about
I believe I did, yeah.
yeah, anyway, so I like seeing guys on that have a similar interest, right?
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I think this one here, obviously, you've had problems with somebody hacking into or saying bad things about your group or something, but as maybe you're an administrator or something like that, and sure, that could be a problem. But for the average riding guy, like maybe Joe or myself or the other fellow, I can't remember his name, um,
It's not a
that
problem. Yeah.
it's a non-entity, right?
Mhm.
And like I said, I've been riding for 46 years and never had anything stolen off my bike. In fact, when I came home it was pissing down rain, just buckets. And in those days, I used to party and drink a little bit. So I just left my bikes in the backyard. It was pitch black. We just got off the ferry on the island and we parked. And the next morning, my sleeping bag and some of my stuff was gone. But that was in Canada and right at my own house. So, and but I've never had anything parking at Walmart or other places.
Yeah.
I do have an alarm. I have an alarm on both my bikes, the ones that I ride on touring with. And, so that maybe helps some. I do take some precautions, that way. But for years, I never had an alarm, you know, and never had any kind of electronic stuff on my bike. I never had.
You
The
must
only kind
have
of electronic
you must
stuff I
have the
like is a
cleanest
radar.
karma in the world. You're the cleanest karma.
Oh,
Nothing happens to you.
I tell you, sometimes being a nice guy,
Yeah.
in Mexico, when I first came down here, I saw so much poverty and stuff, and I gave so much money to people.
Yeah.
I've stopped doing that. Well, I married a Mexican woman. She won't let me just give money away. So because I see people in need and I think, oh my God, your
Yeah.
kids are hungry and, you hear some money, right? But I can't do that anymore now. It just doesn't, you can't do that. I can't save the whole planet.
Yeah.
I'm just a pensioner. I don't have a lot of money, so yeah.
You definitely have a good heart.
Yeah, but you got to know your boundaries a bit too, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can't give it all away and then become poor yourself, and then you can't do anything.
Well, I was
Yeah.
I was borrowing from the bank to give to people, and that was not the way to go, right? No. So yeah, but yeah, that doesn't work. You want people to like you, right? So the whole thing was a boundary issue, and I never experienced that in Canada though. We don't have that. I only experienced that when I got to Mexico. People are, I give $2 or something to a guy begging on the street or a guy down in his luck. But here, in Mexico, it's people, they really have to scrounge, 6 days a week here, you know, there's no 40-hour work week here. And they make like 150 pesos a day, which is like $10 Canadian.
Sounds like
It's not
Ukraine.
even $10 American.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's the
it's not
same
much
same
money.
salaries in Ukraine where I'm from. With the same. It's bad. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know about it then. Yeah. So, but that's great that you do this. I thank you, you know, because I know it takes effort and time and, you know, and you don't get anything for it. At first I thought, okay, are you going to sell me some timeshare or something on here?
Nope.
You know, like I thought, why is he doing this? There's got to be something behind it, right? So no,
And I'm
it's
sure
really,
everybody thinking that there
you
isn't.
know, it's really refreshing to see that you just do it just because you like motorcycling, and thank you. Yeah, I
I
appreciate it.
feel just like you know, there's different ways to give back to the world for you know,
Yeah.
the world gave me a lot. I started poor in a village. Now I have a bunch of bikes, you know, a house in California here. So and I feel like I have to give back somehow also, and I try to do that. So you know,
That's
yeah.
great. No, it's really good. Thank you. That's great. If I ever get to California, I'll come. I don't do any drinking anymore. I kind of gave that up.
Don't drink.
When
I
my
got my
kid,
drinking out of the way when I was younger
yeah,
too, man. That was
yeah, I'm kind of I have only two speeds, stopped and flat out. So my drinking was flat out. So that didn't work.
yeah, that same story, man. I almost
Yeah.
drank myself to death from like from well 8 years old all the way to about 25, just
Oh yeah.
nonstop, just craziness.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Like when my son was 9 months old, I said, okay, that's it. And I haven't, no more cocaine, acid and all the other shit
No
I
more.
did, and beer and tequila. And I said, no, no,
no more.
no more, no mas, no mas. Yeah. So,
No
well, anyway,
mas.
it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to say goodbye to you guys,
Okay,
and I'll see you, and
thank
I'll
you
try to
very
come
much.
up. I'll send you some ideas,
Please.
and
Mhm.
yeah, you can use them or no, or lose them. It doesn't matter to me, but
Please
you know,
do.
it's okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it is hard to come up with an idea, and it's nice to have some input
And
from
when
other
you know
people.
that you got to do it every week, because I set
Yeah.
that goal in front of myself, and I'm like,
Oh, what am I
sometimes
gonna
I'm
do
sitting
now?
on Monday, and I'm like, oh man.
Wow. Yeah, maybe Joe will help you out too.
Yeah.
You know, maybe
Yeah,
I
Joe,
see on, I always see that on Facebook, Fix My Harley. And I thought, man, these Harleys are breaking down, because I see it like Fix My Harleys on there all the time. But I know it's just, you know, it's a maintenance thing. So, you know, I'm just teasing you, Joe. I'm just teasing you. I had a Harley once too. So, yeah, it was one of my
No,
29
my
bikes.
Harley,
Oh, they're good bikes now. They don't have the shovel heads were, you know, they were a different machine, I tell you, you know, and but the new bikes are good. The new Harleys they go the distance, no problem. And I like that they're still air cooled, right? I like that. You know, old school.
well, mine's liquid cooled.
Is it?
Oh, it is.
Are they now?
Yeah,
I had no
I
idea.
got liquid cooled, the radiator on it.
Oh, I didn't know.
No, I had only 7,200 miles on it. I'm going down the highway, and all of a sudden the engine sounded like a tin can with the marble in it.
Oh shit.
And so I was like, whoa. So I had the dealership, it was still under warranty.
Yeah.
Brought it in there. One of the jets came off inside the engine. So I got a brand new engine.
A jet, like a fuel jet? Oh,
Yep.
for a fuel injection system, the jet. Oh, and then the
Yeah.
engine sucked it up, and then no, that's bad. Yeah,
That
shouldn't happen. You know, that shouldn't happen.
What year?
No, it shouldn't.
What year Harley is that?
It's a 2019. he said.
2019.
You said, okay.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, that's too bad, but I don't know how, does that happen a lot, or that was pretty much a fluke?
I think it was a fluke. They gave me,
Yeah.
took care of it right away.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. No, my Moto Guzzi's got 100,000 kilometers on it. That's about 62,000 miles. But
Moto Guzzi, those are cool bikes.
yeah, I've had it 25 years. That was the deal. I had two
Wow.
kids, and I told my wife said, "Oh, I'm not finished yet." And I said, "What do you mean? I'm 42 years old, for crying out loud. I'm an old man." Said, "I want another kid." I said, "Okay, well, I want another bike." So the bike's 26 years old, and my daughter's 26 years old. So
Nice.
I can never forget her age.
Nice.
Yeah, and they're both keepers.
You
I
always
still
gotta
enjoy-
find common ground
you
there.
go.
That was a good common ground.
It's been a great bike. Yeah, it's been a great bike. No, the only thing that went on it was the charging thing went on it. I don't know when, but that's it. You know, I haven't had the carbs off since 2000. I haven't had the carbs off. I haven't.
Wow.
It runs like a clock. Just goes. It's a great. Lots of fun.
Nice.
That's
You
really
know.
amazing that you didn't have to clean the carbs. That's crazy. Yeah.
Well, I ride it a lot.
Oh,
You
so
don't have to clean the
circulating.
carbs if you ride a lot.
Okay.
They clean themselves.
They clean themselves. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you ride all the time, that's the best thing you can do for a bike.
Yep.
You know. So, but anyway, guys, I'm gonna go. My wife's looking at
Okay.
me. Well, not really, but
Thank you
anyway.
guys. Thank you very much for joining.
Later.
See you guys next time. All right. Bye.
Yep.
All right,
Good
next week.
talking to you, Joe. See you. What
Later.
is it? Kawa? Kawa? Is that your name?
Sasha.
Sasha. It's very Russian.
I'm from Ukraine.
Yeah.
Not Russia.
Okay.
bad.
Sorry. Bad. See you
Russia
guys.
Russia took a part of Ukraine.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, I'm glad you're here. Southern California is great for riding. Beautiful roads too.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of nice roads to ride. I miss that here in Mexico. You know, the roads are terrible, and I got to go so far to get on a decent road, right? So, you know,
it's like it's 8:00 p.m. 8:06. I think I'm gonna go ride the Goldwing.
oh, nice. It's 10:06 here.
You still got some time.
Oh yeah, I'm just playing chess, so I like playing chess. So
Oh, very
anyway,
very intellectual game. Nice.
I'm losing to the computer. I get really pissed at the computer, which is stupid. I know, but I hate losing. I know it's just a stupid computer, right? But
So you play
anyway.
chess on the computer.
Yeah, I can play on the
So
computer.
you can't like tip over the desk, the thing.
No, but I
that's
yell
all
at it.
Part of the fun.
I yell at it a lot. Oh, you fucking asshole. You know, so which doesn't, you know, I don't think the computer cares, right? I don't think so. So it's teaching me how to stay calm, to breathe and, you know, stay calm. Okay. Well, it was
Very cool.
Sasha.
Okay.
Goodbye. Thanks so
Bye-bye.
much. Bye.